Okay. All right. So on that note, for your coaching experience, you do a lot of private soccer coaching, one-on-ones, group training sessions. I see a lot of community work on here as well. Manager, lead soccer coach for JMG.
JMG.
So that's the middle school?
It's middle school and high school.
Middle school and high school. Okay. And that's for about 1 year, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay. Have you coached any other teams, any clubs, anything like that?
I've done clubs in the Pasadena League.
Pasadena League.
And it's more, I'd say it's between AYSO and Coast Soccer.
Okay.
So in between more intermediate, advanced to advanced level. It's
Okay.
not beginner, and then it's not advanced like Coast Soccer League.
Okay.
In between.
Right.
Mhm.
What's the age range that you usually coach?
That I did 12 and 13.
12 and 13s. Okay. What's the oldest you've coached?
The oldest in a team was the same 13. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, most of our guys here are between the ages of 18 or even up to 26.
Mhm.
We have some older guys here. Some that are graduate students here as well. And
The older players that I've done, it's mostly I do one-on-ones
Mhm.
or like twos. They bring a friend,
yeah,
and then we do a session.
yeah,
Mostly for strikers. I work with forwards because
Yeah.
I played forward. So they'll ask for a schedule or a lesson plan where I do maybe 2-3 months
Okay.
or up to 6 months.
yeah,
And it's just focused on finishing or first touch
okay,
or anything they want to work on.
right,
And that's what I do with the older ones. With the young ones, it's the club.
okay,
That's why I want to move on
Yeah.
with the next level
Of course.
license.
yeah,
Once I get that, then I can move on to older players.
okay,
Because I wanted to start and go straight to old players when I started training.
Okay.
But then I asked me to start lower. That way I get feeling of the players as I progress.
okay. What about so here, let me ask you this. So every team has that one player that may not have the right attitude, right? Negative energy. How would you deal with that?
I added, especially with the 12s, the kids, once they get to that age level, they start feeling different because maybe they're the ones doing the play or the ones scoring, and then they
Right.
think they're better than the rest. But
Right.
my approach is, at that age, talk to the kid at first. Let them know teamwork. Everyone's the same. Run drills. When we do the drills, I used to run drills as a team, and then I would try to have him come in as a leader to give him, that sense that he still has his say
Yeah.
in how to work with the team.
Yeah.
Maybe give him a set play where he was the one in charge, showing the other kids how to work around it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time have the team involved with the drills.
Okay.
And then with the parent, I try not to bring the parent, because then once you bring the parent, you're giving them too much power to come in, and then they try to take over the team, and
Right.
then you have more like two voices telling the kid what
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
So I try to go straight to the kid. He's the one playing.
Yeah.
I ignore the parents completely. I don't deal with the parents.
Okay.
And when we used to start, I haven't gone back. But
Yeah.
I always tell them, this is the way I coach. I
Yeah.
always send out an email or text group, whatever I have to do.
Yeah.
I'll let them know this is my team. You guys step out.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of how the parents are used to coaches screaming, and it doesn't really work with the kids. I just get the parents out. This is my turf. I'm in control. Tell the kids the same thing. And if it escalates, it only happened once. I just remove the kid.
Okay.
Even if it's the star of the team, I let them know that I'd rather lose or have the teamwork, the chemistry, than have one player just take over, ruin the whole season.
Okay.
I only done that once, and with the parent as well.
Okay.
But besides that, I think that's the best approach. Try to include them in the drills, give them some freedom to be creative on the field and decide what he does as well.
Okay.
And that's the same thing I do with the older players. And that's something I brought from the older players when I'm doing a one-on-one and the group thing. I don't go in and tell the kids, oh, pass it here, pass it there, pass it here, pass it here.
Right.
I do that, and I tell the parents too, because they came out like, oh, come, you're not telling them where to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like, I do that during the training sessions, and that's what I've been, shown by the older coaches.
Right.
Glendale, GMZ, all of them.
Yeah.
They have older 60-year-olds, and they tell me, this is how you do it. You don't go in and tell them, pass here. You show them during practice. During the game, they have to execute. And if you see a little big error, like passing back or not covering a spot, that's where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
But you just let them be creative.
Okay. Luckily, here in the club, parents don't get involved.
Yes.
They come out to the games, most of it for the most time, but we don't have any parents that speak for the players at all.
Yeah.
Luckily, we removed all of the players that had bad attitudes and negative energy. It wasn't by our choice, it was also by our coordinator. So luckily, if you were to get the position, you'll be coaching a set of players that will respect the coach.
Mm.
From time to time, don't get me wrong, we have a couple players that they take a loss to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Their mentality's not there. So just preparing you, let's say I was a player and you're pretty much arguing with a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the field and I'm arguing with you. And I'm telling you, no, coach, I'm the best. Keep me in. And there's only 10 minutes left on the game. So there's no right or wrong answer here.
Yeah.
But I need to know. I'm misbehaving, I'm not listening to you, and I'm yelling at the players. And there's only 10 minutes of the game left. And let's say this is the finals of some championship. What would you do?
Take him out.
Take him out.
Especially if it shows if he does it in front of the other players.
Yeah.
He's screaming, he's whatever he's doing, the attitude. If it's in front of the players and it's escalating,
Yeah.
then you take him out. If you throw him back in, it's just gonna continue. It might, escalate and get worse, and it's not gonna help the team, especially in the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
He's not gonna go in and change everything with that attitude.
Okay. Here's another one. Again, no right or wrong answer here. But it's very important to stay professional amongst the players. We get it from practice. We'll have our fun. We'll have our talks here and there. But how close is too close for you to get involved with the players?
I'd say, from my experience, texting, I usually keep it as a group text or a group email, or if hang out, it has to be as a group.
Yeah.
Especially for us, but be more personal. So if we're getting personal life, or that's not about soccer, if it deviates to something else, like go drinking or something else that has nothing to do, and I don't drink at all or smoke.
Right.
So my previous experience, they think I'm a prune, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Don't do none of that.
Yeah.
Especially coming from soccer, I never had to do it. It was just straight to soccer and training. That's all I've done since I was little.
Okay.
That's what I'm used to, and I tell the kids and the parents. But even eating habits, I try to do that. But
good.
I know they don't like it.
Right.
So anything, whenever it gets personal life, then that's where you draw the line.
Okay. All right, Coach. So, by any chance, I'm going to go ahead and start asking you, do you know what your formations you would be using for the club? Do you have a personal favorite?
I have a favorite, but then I have to see the players, how they do. Mine's more attacking, just based on my background. Be more of either 3 up front. We would have a 4-3-3.
Okay. Or
depending on the players, we used to go more conservative to 2 on top, maybe 4-4-2. The reason I go with the 3, I like to have the back and mostly work on the midfield, especially if you get the right players with the speed, then they control the mid, and you get to pressure every time they come out. You can pressure and just play on the half up, and then you can get the wingers and the forwards.
Okay.
And again, it has to do with the players. If you get the players with the right speed on the sides, working the wings left and right, and your middle is going to be having to find this. He has to know mobility, and that's something else I teach with forwards, because a lot of even in college they lack the mobility. They have everything else, but they don't know where to be for the cross, where to expect. So I have to try to teach them with our area.
Right.
So if I get the right players who work the sides, they have the speed, they can come back down, get the crosses. This guy pressure them, and then he knows he has to come back here at the same time support, but stay in this area instead of coming all the way down. Because everything with this one, everything has to do with blocking the area so they don't come out. If you don't get the right players, then the counter, they can come back to the sides, and these guys will be up here again. With the mid, they're going to be too high. That's going to leave the areas open for them to counter. Same thing with the defenders, because I like to play up high.
Yeah.
With the two on top, that's easier. That's the one I usually with the kids. I start the season. I try them out. More defense, more like it will equal the 4. With the kids, it's a different formation.
Yeah.
But it's equivalent to having 4 in the back. I try to do like different experience with the team.
Yeah.
Like some kids, I started with 3 in the back, and then I saw that some of them are used to playing the whole 4, and that's what they're used to, having defenders just lined up. They don't know they have to move up yet to the sides, and then create like a triangle in the middle or a diamond shape. They're used to just everyone stay in the back. So I would have to see how the players play, if their first touch is there, if I have the speed on the sides, everything. But my ideal formation would be a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2.
Okay. There's going to be communication is very important, because the thing is, one thing that we noticed last year was that our coaches lacked, or at least our head coach lacked, the right communication at the right time for that specific moment. What I mean by that is, let's say we're playing UC Santa Barbara at their university, and we're down 5-0, and it's halftime. Players are discouraged. They drove all the way out there just to get whooped. What would be your way to get the players motivated? Because I'll be honest, our head coach didn't know what to do. Was said keep pushing, but it wasn't motivating enough. So what would you tell the players if we were down 5-0 halftime?
Well, what I done is tell them we use this as a practice that we done in practice. I want you to, with the kids, of course, I'm use different words with the older players. With the kids, use what we did in practice, put it into use. I want to see you guys just give everything, just like because in practice you usually have the players running all over. So that's what I tell them: run all over, play. Even though you're down 5-0, you still have to play with dignity, honor. You're representing, whether it's a school, club, anything. You still have to go down. If you're going to go down, you're going to go down with honor or dignity. And that's what I tell the players. Just fight till the end. That's what I played. Even in practice when I was playing, just 100%. I don't. Friendly, they tell you to play less, but always 100%. Even if you're down, even if you're winning, I tell the players the same thing. If you're winning 3-0, there's no difference. 3-0. If you're losing 5-0, you still have to give 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then it's going to be a learning experience. If you're down 5-0, you can set the pieces, see what you did wrong, and that's going to help. But when it's 5-0, only thing you can tell the players is just motivation. You have to give it 100%. That's the only thing I would do.
Okay.
With the young ones, same thing, motivation, just go out there. With the older players, you can use different words.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Vamos a romperla, or,
Right.
use different words. But with the kids, you have to keep it, do your best.
Yeah. You got to be conservative with the kids. You don't want to shut them down.
With the older players, you can be a bit more aggressive. With them.
Yeah. I mean, we're all open to constructive criticism in the club. Yeah. That's a good thing, But it's important that we have the right mindset for each player, and that's the coach's job. Let's talk about practice. So ignoring fitness, because fitness is too generic. Anyone can deliver fitness. Let's talk about what type of drills. What would you do? Because keep in mind, this is a 10-week program for the fall. 10 week and a half. So I'm not having you tell me all of your practice sessions, but at least give me 5 different drills that you would do at different practices. Because one issue that we had with our last head coach was same drill after same drill after same drill. Something called Brazilians. Don't know if you know what those are. Brazilians, doesn't matter. Just same drills after same drills, and some drills were more pointless or futile. It just wasn't worth it. Question to you is, describe to me your typical training session after a warm-up, after the fitness. After the warm-up and fitness. Yeah, after the running. I want to know about your drills, your tactics, anything involving set pieces, set play, strategy, anything.
But besides the warm-up, all that, next we do stages, especially with the license they have us do phases or stages, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
One, the warm-up. Second, you bring in more of a game. Third, you can open the field, bigger field, throw in more players, and then the final stage, simulate the game. So second stage would be, I would do say my 4-3-3. If I go in the first day and I'm trying to, that's gonna be my topic. If I'm trying to show them that, and most players are maybe used to like a 4-4-2 or 4-5-1, because that's growing up. That's what they always had me as the one on top, 4-5-1 or 2. Then I would try to explain, and I would do drills. So what I do with the other groups is divide the field market like a rectangle. So the rondo, where they do the whole passing, or they call it monkey in the middle. So I take that, but I make it a rectangle, involve every player, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have players in the middle, and then the sides, and you can bring one player in, and you can do one ball, or you can bring in 2 balls. So with this game, you have this. You're trying to create the same what they do in the game, where they can get points for passing to each other, but the goal is to try to get the passes to the sides. Yeah. Okay. And then these guys have to defend, and the passes. That's one of the drills. That's a starting one, just to get them started with that mindset. Okay. To do that. Then from there, make it a little bigger. You can do like a 3-2, 4-3, defense down, and try to, since you're doing offense, bring in the forward. You can add goal, maybe 4 goals if you want. Same thing. You can only stay in their lane. When they dribble, you can give them, you can only dribble past here, and then from here, you have to go for a cross instead of going straight and trying to dribble everyone in straight for the goal. So you create the 3 lanes to keep your players in their position. They can only attack through here. Here they can dribble. Once they get to the end, they can dribble up to here, but then, say a cone or a line, they have to cross or try to pass, create a play. Right. So you get the mindset of having the player run down instead of trying to be the hero or the main player, or Messi, and he scores. He gets here and he has no choice but to create either pass to you have the center here or the other side, and then attacking or that. Okay. And then from there, I would move on to the open game, and again I create the lanes, but this time there's no actual cones in the field. It's just a larger field. I could do a 4-3, or I can bring in 2 groups and just keep changing them. Yeah. Or I can add a defender or a forward. And this one I like to play with keepers. Regular field, but then you add the sideline here, and the wingers. There's one here, and there's one here. But they're neutrals, so they can go for either team. When this team has possession, then they're part of this team. And then every other field player's in here, but the wingers I keep out on the field, like on the outside, on the sidelines. These players can create play in here, but then they have to get at least a pass to the sidelines. And then the goal counts only if it comes from a pass from the sidelines, instead of just dribbling in here. And that, especially with the younger players, it gives them an idea of how, even with the old players, some old players don't know. They just want to play in the middle, right? Instead of working the sidelines. Yeah. And that's when I do. Again, they lose possession. This guys get the ball again. They have to, work with the wingers. So wingers can go either way. Okay. And then same thing. Instead of going in the mid, they have to give one pass, and then the goal only counts if it comes from the wingers. And that's when I do so players get the idea of that. Okay. And then the final one would be remove that again. The last stage, remove it, and then it's just full play with the field.
Okay.
But I try to give them the idea that they have to try to do the same thing we did in practice.
Right. Right.
And work the sidelines.
Okay.
Again.
Okay. That's good. The idea is to keep evolving the practices and not have it keep the same. It can't be repetitive at all. Okay. I like that you have a different phases here, start here, and build up from that. It's really good. That's something we didn't have last semester, unfortunately. We hoped that's what our coaches did tell us they would have, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Bottom line is that, if you were to get this position, every week's practice, you have to at least give about an hour or two thought into it, seeing, okay, what I'm going to do this week. All right, we're going to build off from last week and do something a little different, but we need to challenge our players. It can't be repetitive at all.
Yeah, and also,
yeah.
I mean, I get the repetitive issue, especially some don't understand in the repetition, but once you're this old, you don't need the repetition every time.
Yeah.
But say we had the first game, we did everything, it was a draw or we lost badly, that you can use the next practice to come up with the drills that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had maybe lacked on the corners, and that's still what I did with the other players, we lacked on the corners, then we're going to work on how to defend that. If we have kicks and we don't know how to set up the wall or how to defend players here when they're coming in, that's something else we work on.
Yeah.
If we don't know how to do the free kicks, how to pass, or even the corners, work on that. So set plays as well.
Okay.
Maybe work on coming out, the sides, defenders, finding the different lanes. That's something else. So it's always based on the previous match or game that you see.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. So we had an issue on set pieces, mostly from the UCs. Mm-hmm. Most of their goals came from set pieces, either from a corner kick or from a free kick that always ended up with a header towards the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, our players, not all of them can header the ball out. Some get nervous, some just, I don't know what it is, might be a mentality issue. Do you have any training sessions or anything that you know that can improve them clearing that ball out with their head?
For clearing, what we did was for this one, we had like rugby.
Mm-hmm.
We used rugby because our players did not know how to defend corners, who to protect or who to defend.
Yeah.
Players were going to say players running here.
Yeah.
Players were following.
Yeah.
Following more like a decoy. They were using a decoy.
Mm-hmm.
So player A would go this way, and then I'm a defender. I'm following this guy, but this guy's bringing me out. And other player, they know they're set.
Right.
Other players going in.
Right.
That leaves this open. Then he starts making his movement this way. So he's pulling the defender this way, and then last moment they make the run. So what we did was with rugby, the ball, we told them because they know NFL, that's what they are used to. So we told them, okay, just think of it as a basketball or NFL where you have the wide receivers and you're sticking with them. So we used rugby to let them know the position. So we threw it in this player. Then they did better defending because they're keeping up with that player.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I don't know how with soccer, maybe because it's on their feet. I don't know if it had anything different, but I traded out because I noticed that before the game some of them were playing NFL or whatever, and they knew how to stick with the player. Same thing in basketball, and I brought up basketball. And they were like, okay, we stick with the player here.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them in basketball, what do you do when the player comes out here?
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that, stay here, wait for him instead of following him.
Okay.
So that's what we use rugby, throwing the ball in, staying. But with the older players, I would use rugby. I would use more of a similar, but have them, we recreate and practice the run.
Okay.
With all the possibilities. If the player runs here, you don't have to follow the player out here because that's going to leave this open 10 feet. And this player is just going to come here and he's going to do the same thing to bring out the other player to free these here for their header. So it's a hard one to actually teach the players. Okay, you can only show them like either on the board or on the field. You can show them this is going to happen, and it's going to take maybe like a 20 minute, 30 minute, because you would do just moving them around, and then the next phase would be the actual. You get the players and you throw them in, and you do the whole play.
Yeah.
And then you do the whole play, maybe for the next 20 minutes again.
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes where you just do the play, you continue doing, and they have to continue the same movement.
Okay.
There. And because another problem I know, it's clearing the ball. And even happens to older players, where they get the ball and they get it here and they don't know what to do once the defender gets it. They maybe watching TV, the games, they want to come out playing, instead of just doing the basic, just clearing it to the side. I tell my players and parents, most of the time it's about keeping just the basics. You see players, I played against JMG and all. We played against players from MLS, like a scrimmage. Yeah. And the only difference between the players that make it pro and go on, it's that they're dedicated and they have persistence, and they know when to do that, the mobility. So instead of coming here, they know just keep it basic. For sure. They're gonna try to come out playing, and that's something I saw with the players we played against that were pro. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, they played in MLS, New England, Red Bulls, and you see them playing. It's just basic. They're not gonna come out and try to. They see that it's easier to just clear it. They're just gonna clear the ball and then run back to organize again. Yeah.
What we see is, that's good that, teaching them how to mark their player, mark their man. It's very important. What about, when clearly the other team has a height advantage, do you know anything in which they can actually improve their chances of clearing that ball? Because some teams that we go against do have a higher height than us. And not only that, but it's, again, I really want to hear if you know any drills for headering the ball out, because I'll be honest, it's a fast-paced game, and a lot of players or a lot of coaches don't expect that at first. They think it's just a club. No, it's a collegiate club just right below Division One.
No,
so,
I see that. CSUN,
yeah. Oh, you've seen the CSUN's club team.
I went to CSUN.
Yeah.
It's pretty competitive, especially CSUN. Yeah, players who did not go to the main team, and then they go and they play there.
Exactly. So again, I guess the question for me to you would be, aside from marking their player, how would you get them to actually clear the ball out?
The drills, just work on number one, timing. If I have a height advantage, the only thing you can do is work on your timing the ball or your jump, because you're not going to beat him with his height. So I would say timing the right moment to come out, and your position wise. So as long as we get position, all the players position in the right spot, and not moving around, following the player, then they can do the step back, always behind in the position to gain a few, maybe feet over the other player. Yeah. And then always anticipation. So when I play, it was always anticipating. So, and that's something I try to tell the players. Okay. And so it's harder for some players. They don't have it. They don't know they're good players, but it's always anticipation. Okay. This happens here, go this way, and that's something I always teach. But it would be drills would be focused on. And again, you can go do all the drills on jumping, your mobility, get maybe a few more inches on how to, jumping toes instead of being flat. Right. That's a few things that can help. Yeah. Try to catch up to the height advantage, but physically nothing, not enough time. Drills is just timing, anticipating, and then don't be flat. Try to move around. Toes and be ready, always ready. Okay. Awesome. All right, Sam. So this is what I'm gonna do. I think this answers all the questions that I had right now. But let me just go ahead and give you a little bit more of a idea of what it requires for you to be as a coach here. So right now we're at 38 players signed up, registered, returners, whether they're sophomores, juniors, or seniors. And we also have incoming juniors from Bakersfield College or from other community college from California coming in.
that have already signed up. And we have incoming freshmen. Right now we're at 38, and that number is expected to rise. And that is almost triple compared to last season. Last season we had about a solid 18, so I guess you could say double. But towards the end of the season, we had about 15. We had a different committee back then. It was my first year here as a junior last year. I got involved with the club. I got involved with SRC. Sure enough, I started working at McFarland High School with the athletic director. So, this year we started a new committee. Everyone voted for me to lead this club, especially the administrative side, because without the foundation, there is no team.
Yeah.
On that note, we've collected and guaranteed 38 players. That's more than one team is required. So we're going to have 2 teams. The first team would be your main focus if you were to get this job. The first team will play in all the college club conferences that we have set up. There's going to be a total of 15. You saw who we were playing against. I believe it was Cal Poly A, UC Riverside, different schools. Those are about 6 games there. Right before season starts, we have a San Diego State Aztec Cup tournament, and we are in a bracket. Let me show you that bracket right now. It's all over social media. We're getting a lot of hype for it. Let's see here. Okay. Probably gonna have to zoom in. There we go. Go ahead and zoom in. See if you can find us there. Give me one quick second here. Just zoom in with there you go.
Play CSUN.
I think they're on a different bracket, right? Or are they the same bracket as us?
No, same one.
Same. Gotcha. Yeah.
CSUN. San Diego State 2.
Yeah.
And Sonoma.
Yeah. Sonoma State. We're going to have 3 games there. If we finish first, we'll have a 4th game. If we finish 4th, we'll have a first game against the other bracket. So we're talking about 4 games before season starts, another 6 games during season 10, and then we have our post-conference at UC Irvine, and that's going to be about 4 more games. So we're talking about 14 to 15 games. That's a lot, and that's all within a 10-week time span. 10-week time span. The first team will be playing in West Coast. That's the conference. The second team will be playing in a local league, recreational league called Champions League. Bottom line, your main focus is for the first team. If you were to get this job, the practices will have both teams there. You'd have to do your best to organize it the way you want it to.
38, right?
You will have an assistant coach without a doubt, or whether or not we decide you're an assistant coach, we get another head coach. It doesn't matter. You'll have your own coaching staff. So the second team, you don't have to coach. We're not expecting any coaches there. It's mostly going to be led by the captains of that team. Bottom line is, we can't deny no one. We can't.
Yeah.
That's why we have a second team. First team, we put the best, the most talented, whoever the coach thinks that is. Second team is the developmental team. Their hopes is to move up after the seniors graduate. So we have about 12 seniors graduating from the first team. So, there's definitely room to improve for the second team. On that note, depending if the club wants it, we have a camera guy, and through my company, right? I don't know if you've seen any of my videos. You don't have to. We record from a height of up to 30 feet straight down. Tryouts will be free. I'll have someone out there recording the game. We'll make sure this thing's as fluid and easy as possible for you. So just giving you a heads up right now. So we're talking about 15 games conference. Now, the way transportation works, last year we had a carpool. This year, I'm going to do my best to get the grant from the school so that we all travel together. In which case, you'll be getting paid for 3 days out of the week. If we have a tournament and you had 2 practices that week, you can only get paid 1 day, meaning let's say that tournament's 3 days. So meaning we'll have 2 practices, and those days are covered. we'll have one game that's covered, and then the 2 last games or the 2 days you won't get paid for. Just have to set that expectation.
Mm.
We don't have enough money to go spend enough money as the athletics team does. So, for the most part, we do our best to cover for transportation for the coaches for the most part. But you may be required to drive out there, or you may be required to pitch in for gas if we ever need to. So, yeah. That's all that I have for you right now. Sam, do you have any other questions for me right now?
With just the team, you said 38, that's more than enough for 2 teams plus subs, yeah.
Yeah.
During the season, say injury or a player can make it, or you see a improvement or a player that you might not have, seen from the B team.
Yeah.
Can you get that player
promoted up? Yeah, but you only get 5. Only 5. Yeah, because we have to pay for that transfer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So we're talking to the committee. We're looking at 5 players. So, let's be diligent. Definitely. Be careful who we want to pick.
Yeah, especially with 38 players. And
yeah.
You get the tryout or whatever to see them, and then maybe it's not their day, or
exactly.
you do better the next game.
Which is, we'll see what we can come up with if we can move from 5 to 10 players, but we have to pay for those 5 players to get moved up because there's a registration fee per player that wants to compete in West Coast, and it's not too bad. It's about $25 or so, but we don't have the players pay for it. The budget pays for it.
Yeah.
Again, it could be optional. We can let the players know, hey, if you want to move up, you can. You have to pay this amount. That is always that possibility, But for now, we want to aim at 5. Try to keep it to 5. So, yeah. And then, it's about a 10, 11 week. So starting the last week of August all the way towards right before Thanksgiving, around there. Right before Thanksgiving, yeah.
That's the last game, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the playoffs, postseason. Yeah. And, we'll have everything set and organized once we, if we decide to go with you. Promise you, we'll have everything all set and ready to go. This is more like just an introductory, just to get to know each other.
And now the playoffs, the bracket, how does it work? Is it how many teams do you know? Or,
so the way it works, just don't come last. Don't come last. Yeah. Regardless, we should be fine. I don't want to set any expectations, but I'm very confident we'll make it. We'll make it to the playoffs. It's literally to be last, you have to lose every game, and that didn't happen last semester. We got pretty close. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw the record.
Some
videos might have been.
Yeah. That games. Last game was terrible. I don't know what happened that last game, but where we're going to be. Sometimes we play at the stadium, as you saw. Sometimes we play at the rec field, which is right outside, or we have a private athletics field that we hold games there. Bottom line is, we'll make sure we'll get it all taken care of.
So it's a field here, right?
That's the practice field here. Yeah.
I saw one when I came in. Oh, yeah. Entry, right?
Walking in, you'll see a little field. That's our practice field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A little bit more over towards the east, there's a private field, and we're trying to host our home games there. So 3 home games, 3 away games. Yeah, so it's not that many, right? So first season. But yeah, Sam, I'm gonna hold on to this. I gotta show this to my coordinator. Do you have any other questions for me?
And the one you answered, where the games are held, and then for playoffs, you make it. The teams do they keep them local? Let's say based on distance, or is it just based on ranking?
No. It's for the most part, it's based off of the first, second, third, fourth, whatever place you placed in. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, we're in second division. We got relegated.
So there's promotion.
We're trying to reach first division. So it's best for us to reach top 2.
So top 2, you get
promoted to first division.
Top 2 in the group, right?
Yeah, in our current group.
And then next season, you guys would be.
Exactly. Usually there is a spring season. That one's when they combine both first and second together. So that's not a problem. But the idea is that the school wants us to be in first division because they have, much like the NCAA has their championship, there's one for nationally recognized schools, NERSA. they have it in the fall. Unfortunately, we didn't qualify because we got relegated last season.
Yeah.
So let's try to maintain that first and second place mentality the whole time.
Yeah, because I know Receipts on the hockey team,
Mm-hmm.
they're in the first division.
Nice. Yeah.
They won the whole national.
That is great. That's a dream. That's one thing that if we can win that, our school will get us more funding, But other than that, we'll be fundraising for the most part. Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. And then the last thing, we have before you leave, we'll have a decision latest Tuesday. I want to say next week. Okay. Yeah. In which case, that Thursday next week, if you were to get called in and selected, we have hopefully this thing goes through. Hold on. You know what? I have it here. Next week, Thursday, we have a player signing event. It's going to be here in this building as well. And, we will let you know. I just want to let you set the expectation for you right now. Anyway, so all the club members got this. Everyone's RSVPing. It's going to be a live stream event. So we'll let you know by Tuesday because we will need you here Thursday, yeah. So, it's going to be right across this room. It's a giant one. So, the idea would be it's an opportunity for all the players newcomers and returners to know each other, get to know the coaching staff. And then we have brand new jerseys straight from Nike, home and away set, a full set with goalkeeper jerseys, everything. Luckily, we get sponsorships and stuff like that, so they were able to pay for all of it. So we're going to have a backdrop. We're going to have everything there. We just need to set the expectation that if you get this job, try to keep Thursday morning free because we're going to need you there. So, yeah. Sounds good, Sam?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Sam. I got another interview in 10 minutes.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Drive safe home, and we'll let you know by Monday or Tuesday.